All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining another episode of the Managing Partners Podcast. I'm Kevin Daisy, your host, and I'm also the founder of Array Digital. We help law firms grow through the use of digital marketing tactics. And with that said, I'm joined today by a special guest, a different type of guest today, who will be teaching us a little bit about what he does and what his company offers. Eliot Schreiber, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be with you.
Yeah. So for everyone listening, I want to introduce Eliot here. We'll be speaking with Eliot today about the emergence of text messaging-based short code technology as another critical tool that your law firm's marketing can mix for driving client intake and engagement. Eliot began his career as a practicing attorney and then transitioned into the consulting space, advising B2B and B2C clients on branding, innovation, and strategic growth. As the CEO or COO of TextLegal, he is responsible for the company's overall operations and executing against its go-to-market strategy. So, Eliot, again, thanks for joining us today. I'm excited to learn more and for our audience of attorneys to learn more about what you guys are offering.
Well, that's my pleasure to do so.
Yeah, and also for a little extra background, Eliot has a partner in crime who actually was another guest on the show. He runs a very successful law firm out of Chicago. And what you're going to hear from Eliot today, they're actually implementing for their firm with great results. So I'm just a little background on that. We've had other guests on the show that are actually using their technology. So once you learn more about it, we can test it out today too, and hopefully you'll go check them out. Also, just for anyone just tuning in early, if you want to go look into more about TextLegal, you can go to textlegal.net. The web address is down below if you're watching, and if you're on the podcast, it's just textlegal.net. That way, in case you can check them out, in case you don't have time to stick around right now. So, Eliot, a couple of questions. So,
sure.
Let me get to my questions here. Sorry, people. We came on here to talk about, text-to-chat technology. And so tell us a little more of that, and we'll dive deeper into that as we go.
No problem. Kevin, the mix of marketing tools that are used by legal professionals to advertise their firms to the target audience has really evolved over the years. It's gone from outdoor billboard and commercial radio and TV broadcast to vanity phone numbers. And, together with content that's delivered, via the traditional print media and at various industry public forums, the model worked, extremely well for those who committed the appropriate resources to this initiative. But with the emergence of the internet, a lot of things changed. And firms have seized on the ability to reach a larger and yet more targeted audience through the use of websites with click-to-chat and related functionality, online social media, SEO, digital advertising, over-the-top digital advertising has come on strong, webinars, and other technology-based touch points. So when you take these all together, for savvy marketers, this omni-channel strategy has provided a really robust approach to establishing their brands and driving client intake. So that said, though, these marketers are still missing a critical segment of their audience, which are millennials, as well as anyone who prefers, likewise, to engage only via text messaging with marketers and their messaging.
Yep, I can speak to that right here for sure. And I am a millennial, just barely. So text messaging works. We use it and we get a high, it's almost 100% that they're going to see it in the 90 percentile of response. So
let me tell you how, this technology actually works if there are some those in your audience who are unfamiliar, because we are among the early first movers in this space, I have to say. But a potential client of a law firm will see their advertising that among its calls to action that might be their vanity phone number, their URL web address, there'll be an option to text. And that would be to text a certain keyword, short, easy to spell, that they would text to a numeric or an alphabetic equivalent on their smartphone. And when they do it, they will be instantly connected with the marketer, and in their case, their intake call center. And so this is going to be another avenue to get people into the law firm's call intake for qualification and follow-up and conversion. So again, it's going to be added to the other calls to action, not to replace those calls, but to give another channel to an under-targeted segment of their audience.
Okay, so you mentioned numeric and alphabetic addresses. So for those unfamiliar, those are short codes.
Yeah, let me actually go further on this. Yes, for those again who are not fully aware of this technology, short codes are abbreviated numerics, 5 or 6 digit numbers in length, that can receive text messages. So, they can take the form again of either a numeric. In our case, we have repeater numbers such as 22222, 55555, and others, or alphabetic equivalents. We have the words legal, lawyer, injury, money. These are very powerful unicorn short codes that can be used as a recipient for getting any messaging sent. You're going to see this also being used more and more by different major marketers in TV advertising and elsewhere. So Sherwin-Williams, pharma companies, ESPN, Match.com. The presidential candidates were even using it during their campaign cycle. So it's becoming more and more short codes becoming the table stakes for marketers. So again, this is something that is going to be added to the calls to action.
Okay, awesome. And yeah, I've seen it used a lot more myself and have used it for certain things. Lots of companies are using it. And I think that the cool thing is you guys have those very easy to remember short codes or unicorns that you call them, which I think is where it comes to super important. Because if it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 2, like you're not going to remember that. So,
right.
So next question, how compatible is this with more established marketing campaigns? So for those firms out there that maybe are concerned about having to rethink their entire marketing strategy in order to integrate this. So explain that more.
Yeah, I mean, as I touched on earlier, this is something that just is added to their marketing strategy. It's to find yet another channel of communications that will reach an under-targeted segment of their audience. And so it's very compatible, and all that our clients are doing is revising their creative to add this as a banner ad or some other voiceover edit, so that again, consumers and the target audience will understand this is another means by which to engage.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that. So with this, I mean, I know what I think, because I've spoke with you before, and would you recommend incorporating this into, the text to chat into more traditional marketing campaigns like TV, billboards, radio? Or do you think it works better as in the digital space, online ads, social media, things that my company provides?
Well, I think that it's really versatile in how it can be deployed. It certainly will only broaden the reach of marketers. So while short codes clearly work well in traditional media, particularly outdoor media, it still does a great job of brand building, right? When it's used on the online in the form of digital ads, because there'll be those who want to engage at a later time when they're not necessarily online. But if they have something that's easy to remember and they're with their phones 24/7, then you've got another way for them to engage with you. And we saw this actually deployed at a conference recently where there were probably over 6,000 attendees virtually, and they were able to go click to chat, but about 25% of all of the inbounds that the convener received came from those who are texting, because it's just such an ingrained behavioral trait that they'd rather do it that way. And also, texting gives the user more control over how and when they engage and what kind of messages they'll take in.
Okay, excellent. So this is, it's an emergent tactic, I think, it's an emergent tactic in the legal space, but it's not new to a lot of other industries. We've seen it around for a little while. What are some of the industries who have already adopted text to chat?
Well, as I mentioned, we basically see this now every day. It's simply a very prevalent form of communications from major players. I mean, you cannot avoid seeing it. In fact, if you look at some of the entertainment programs out there, like Dancing with the Stars, the way audience members vote is by using SMS to shortcode. If you look at some of the pharma commercials for Novo Nordisk, they're running some of their biggest brands by using just shortcodes as the way to engage for more information. So it's becoming, again, as I said, the entry point for all marketers to incorporate into their advertising format. And it's a great way to do branding for a company, a law firm that has already established equity in their firm name, because that could be the keyword. So if your name is array, you could say text array to 22222. So it's building on the creative advertising and brand building that many law firms and other marketers have created already.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So is this, is there any particular demographic indicator for customers that prefer this type of engagement? Like, do you have any kind of data on that?
Sure. I think, for sure, millennials is the sweet spot. 1 in 3 expect email, phone, or face-to-face. They'll frankly ignore phone calls and they'll opt out of emails. As I mentioned, it gives control to them as to when and what they want to communicate. It's more convenient, it's more immediate and intimate. At the same time, it's circumscribed as to how it can be deployed. 76% of millennials prefer texting because of the ability to check messages on their own time, related to that same consumer preference. And texting is the highest rated contact method for customer satisfaction, actually, compared to other communication channels. So this is essentially, it's the hot wired connection and communicating with the target audience.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And I think I know we've used text, not necessarily in this way, but just as a communication tool, and the engagement and response is just so much higher. Which makes a ton of sense to me. Many firms are already incorporating the option of texting into client communications, just like I mentioned. But how is this different from text to chat technology?
Well, so there is the presence of outbound marketing via texting. But that's a different animal than what we're talking about. We're trying to get people in the house. They're talking about how to, communicate with them after the fact. And quite frankly, law firms are primarily interested in driving intake so that they have greater opportunities to convert and drive revenue. Post-sale, if you will, communications, while it could be done via outbound text marketing, that's something that's more likely used by brand owners, the ones like I've mentioned, who want to have longer term engagements with the consumer. But when you're talking about individual legal matters that come and go in a matter of a certain time frame, the real value is to get them in the house in the very beginning. So again, I would say that while they're using it mostly for outbound messaging, we think there's an opportunity to help drive top of funnel inbound lead generation through the use of this platform.
Okay. I like that. So, other than a new tool for inbound marketing, does text to chat technology offer any other advantages to law firms specifically, since that's our audience here?
Well, again, it's more than just a lead generator. It offers the firms the means to capture more data, to retarget a lapsed lead, to leverage it in their promotions, and even client service. Technologically, it allows for the firms to create customized text and audio messaging. It could help pre-qualify leads, freeing up the intake center to do more high-value work in processing. So, for example, let's say that you're dealing with a regulated industry and you need to have an age gate to figure out whether you can take a lead for processing because of having to be over, say, the age of consent for certain products. This is a way for us to create a series of automated prompts that will qualify the intake before it even comes in to the call center. So we're saving them time, and in the same way, making them more productive with the calls that they do take, from these leads. It can also use embedded links to their website. So if you want to bring people right into a scheduler for a meeting or a form to help start the evaluation of their case to begin with, this is another way that we can, use our platform to help them. We can even create phone connections. If someone would rather not text at the end of the day, they'd rather actually be immediately put in contact with the law firm, we can create that kind of telephonic connection. We can even allow the client to upload images and videos that may be relevant to their case in the form of an accident or an injury. So it's a really robust platform with terrific back-end functionality. And then again, we can also take this platform and directly integrate it through an API to our law firm's CRM so that they can then use it for harvesting that data and then retargeting it through other means.
I love it. I think for the intake process too, it's huge, especially if you have a small team of intake people, and you're getting bombarded with lower quality leads. I've had a lot of firms tell me here on this show that, they're concerned with doing too much advertising and marketing because their intake gets jammed up, and that costs them time and money. So I think for that reason alone, I think it's really cool. And I did the demo, which we'll do the demo here shortly for everyone that wants to try it out. And it's quick, it's clean, it gives options, and it allows for the person to, choose their way through before they before they get on the phone with somebody and take up someone's time. So I think that's a huge part. So Eliot, how do you see this tech, progressing in the legal space, going forward?
Great question. Well, I think that, it's going to continue to find its way into the legal space as it has already, as I mentioned, other industries. So as texting continues to become the preferred form of communication, and people spend more and more time on their phones and mobile devices, we're going to expect to see text to chat again become more prominent in legal marketing strategies. So it's a great time for law firms to get in early with a first mover advantage, if you will, and incorporate this kind of technology into their legal marketing campaigns.
Excellent. Yeah, I agree too. I see this being more widely used. I have clients that, that do a lot of traditional, which I think this would definitely bring a lot of value to and help expand help the success of those traditional campaigns for sure. Outdoor type advertising, billboards. For me, it makes sense to add this to all that stuff, without even questioning it. So, cool. I really appreciate you sharing all that, Eliot, and giving us a little bit more information on this and explaining how it works. I think it's a great tool for law firms to utilize, and I think, especially if you're going outdoor and traditional, that this is like a no-brainer for me. I did mention a demo, and if everyone's interested as well, we'll do that here in a second. But do you have any special offers for our audience or anything that they can do to connect with you and try this out?
Absolutely. I appreciate your offering that opportunity. We'd like to invite the audience to have a chance to win a 6-month free trial of our product simply by texting DEMO, DEMO, to 22222. So as you just put on the screen, that's text DEMO to 22222. And then, we'd be delighted to have them be eligible to have a chance to try this out real time for 6
awesome.
months. Yeah.
That's excellent. I think that's an awesome offer. Try before you buy, and you can't really beat that. You get to try it out and see the success of it. Again, I've done a demo with Eliot previous to this, and very smooth, very quick. It was a very nice demo. I'm very impressed by it because I've used some basic things like this in the past just for our own events and things, but I was impressed with some of the options you have and things like that it has. So if you're watching this now or listening, if you're on the podcast, text demo, just go to your phone, put in 22222 and text the word demo to that, and then you'll get an immediate response from the system, from Eliot's team, and you can connect with them to try it out. You could also go to textlegal.net. So for anyone listening, Eliot, that wants to try this out or find out more, right? So beyond just texting demo to 22222, for those that are really interested in learning more, what's the best way for them to connect with you and reach out?
Sure. Well, you've already given our URL, so there's contact information there that they can complete. They can certainly send an email to us at info@textlegal.net. Perhaps you can have that displayed as well, but that's info@textlegal.net.
I'll put that up there. Hold on one second. Okay, so that's up on your screen. So info@textlegal.net. If you're watching, you can send an email to that. Whatever questions you have, I assume. Anything you want to know, Eliot can arrange to get that over to you.
Correct. And again, if you text demo to the twos, we'll be able to immediately get back to you as well that way.
Excellent. Well, again, I appreciate that offer. I think this is an awesome offer. Again, try before you buy, 6 months. That's awesome. I mean, why not take them up on that for sure? And then if it helps you and works out, then you can go from there. So, and if, changing the whole billboard, 6 months, maybe not, but you got social campaigns, Facebook advertising, display advertising, all those things. This could be implemented pretty quickly so that you can start to see it go to work. You also put it on your website. Someone doesn't want to type in your phone off their desktop. Maybe they just want to text you. Make it easy for them.
So by their, texting a demo to 22222, that's 5 2s in a row, they'll have a chance, to win the opportunity to get that free trial.
Yes. So, text it in. You get the chance to win that. Sorry if I misspoke, but again, I would submit that, get your entry in, and hopefully this is something you get access to. And I think too, just with talking with Eliot and his team, is the real estate that they have, if you want to call it that, the numbers that they own and the short codes is what makes them have a great offering.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin, because that's right. We have some very valuable "quote unquote" real estate that is unique to us. And again, as and when the market continues to see texting to a code as table stakes, as I mentioned, these will become even more in demand and prove themselves in terms of their value contribution to these firms.
Yeah. Totally agree. And again, if you had something that was crazy numbers and you can't remember it, then it's really not going to have the same effect. So,
and when you add that with the functionality that we've talked about earlier, the ability to create a customized program makes it that much more powerful. And the other thing I forgot to mention, Kevin, forgive me, is that we also have push notifications, so that even if you're not on the desktop application, it can be something you get on your mobile. It's a downloadable mobile application as well. So you can respond and receive on your own smartphone. And you can also see emails coming in to tell you when someone has texted your keyword to the code.
Oh, excellent. So
it untethers you from the desktop, and it allows law firm owners to see real time and to get involved if they chose what kind of inbound traffic they're getting, so that it's not relying only on their intake center for follow-up.
Excellent. And then for them, anyone listening and thinking, you're not texting back from your own cell phone where they get your cell phone number. You're going through an application. So it's correct. You're protected if you're not yet willing to extend your cell phone.
Right.
So you can do it through a dashboard application. So that's awesome.
Right. You're going through the app.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that extra tidbit. So if you're listening, do the demo, sign up. You could win the free service for 6 months. And if someone does, please let us know. If you're a winner, Eliot will get with you on that so we can check in with that attorney and let them and announce that as well. So.
And I will just leave it with you, Kevin, that, regardless of the chance to win, we are a very flexible partner to work with, and we will invite any interest that any of those in your audience have to learn more, and for us to explore how we can best, embed it in their marketing strategy at a, creative and budgetary campaign that makes sense.
No, I appreciate that. So that's important. These guys they're going to be blowing up. They're new in this legal space, but you better get in now. I think they're going to be moving very quickly and doing big things. So, submit those, ask questions. They'll be happy to work with you. And Eliot, thanks for coming on. And again, I appreciate having Jonathan on, who is a partner of yours in this space, who again has his own firm, uses this technology. Otherwise, we wouldn't be promoting this. So again, thanks for sharing all that today and getting us a little bit more educated about it.
Kevin, it's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to have you on. We'll be talking soon too. And everyone, this will be up on arraylaw.com/podcast, just like everyone else. We'll feature this on the website. So that'll be up soon. You can also check us out on any podcasting platform that you'd like to listen to, whether it's Apple, Google, Spotify. We're on every single platform out there. This will be up in the audio version as well, probably after the new year sometime. And then you can check this out. We'll also probably feature in our newsletter, the Managing Partners newsletter that goes out every single week. We'll feature Eliot in there. We'll also send out some information about TextLegal in the coming newsletters to come. And so stick around and look for that too. If you need help marketing or implementing these kinds of things, these tactics, that's what we do. So if you go to arraylaw.com, we are a digital marketing agency and we only work with law firms. So if it's getting some of this kind of technology integrated into your campaigns, we can definitely help. If it's SEO, website development, that's what we do. So reach out, check us out, and that's all I got. Eliot, thanks so much for coming on. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, again, thanks so much, Kevin. Much obliged.
No, absolutely. All right. Well, everyone, have a great day. Get out there, crush it, grow your firms, utilize these tactics, and we hope you learn a lot from the show, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.